Defending the respective ends behind which the fans are massed, and away we go with Spurs playing left to right as we look, and they're on the attack straight away, and it's Hazard who's in possession, played on by Crooks. Hazard over on the far side, Tottenham's left, cuts back inside and still keeps the possession, Hazard, but he's just beaten by Warren Neal, the young right back, and the 19-year-old will be pleased to have that early challenge in, even though it went away at the expense of a throw-in. A throw to Tottenham then, level with the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area, over on the far side. That's Tottenham's left, and up comes Graham Roberts to throw it. The high looping ball, Crooks rises, but it's won by Bob Hazel and cleared away upfield. And now it's with Tony Curry, who's moving forward purposely in his own half. Curry, though, a loose pass, a sloppy pass. Graham Roberts can pick it up and decides under a bit of pressure to send it all the way back to Ray Clements. And Clements has his first touch of the ball for Tottenham Hotspur. Clements on the edge of his area, sending his men right upfield, and then sending it down among them with a long left-footed clearance. Archibald heads it up in the air. Underneath it comes Terry Fenwick. But in behind that is Paul Price, and it's headed for Garth Crooks to chase. And Fenwick across the cover again, headed out of play. And another throw it'll be to Tottenham over on the far side. And certainly in the early moments of this game, Tottenham showing that they're determined to stamp their class and authority on the game. And they've won themselves a corner. Tony Galvin receiving from Garth Crooks. Beaten away by Gary Micklewhite. The ball going behind, and the corner to Tottenham on the far side there left. Hazard has it, left-hand angle of the penalty area. Squares of the Huddle. Huddle chips it out to Hazard once more. Hazard, though, not tall enough to win a challenge in that position. And the big man, Ian Gillard, has gone across the mark and wins it, but Gillard now under pressure from Galvin. Does well to get out of that. Forward to Micklewhite, but they're still in a dangerous position, Queen's Park Rangers, on the far side, on the touchline, and eventually the ball forced out of play by Mike Hazard, and that will be a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. And a chance for them to get their breath, to relieve the pressure that's been on them. Tottenham exerting pressure in these opening moments, no mistake about that. Clearly determined that this particular replay is not going to go beyond the 90 minutes. Throw to Queen's Park Rangers, taken by Micklewhite, who receives it again and pumps it long and forward there for Stainrod to chase. A header, a not so good one, goes towards Flanagan, and Flanagan picks it up for Rangers, and now Waddock, but Waddock's pass forward finds Flanagan offside, and that'll be a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur, and a chance for early impressions from Frank McClintock.
Well, I think it's quite obvious, George, that playing on Saturday in extra time usually tires you very much, especially in a cup final. But having the extra days, it just looks as though everybody's really fresh again, and playing on Thursday is absolutely ideal for both sets of teams. And Tottenham have really taken the game to Queen's Park Rangers, exact opposite from Saturday, because on Saturday it was the opposite way about, because Queen's Park Rangers had most of the play in the first 5 minutes. But it's looked very lively, and it's noticeable here that Flanagan, instead of playing in midfield, has moved up front, and Queen's Park Rangers are actually playing 4 people across the middle of the pitch.
One of those, Tony Curry, who just lost possession there in the middle of his own half, but the situation retrieved by Bob Hazel, the big black centre-back for Queen's Park Rangers, who had such a fine game on Saturday. And now forward go Rangers with Micklewhite tripping over himself, though, and Tottenham able to come away with it in the person of Graham Roberts. Now it's in the centre circle with Hazard, who plays an intelligent ball to the left to Tony Galvin. Galvin in some space on the left. He's got Warren Neal with him. Galvin running at Neal, going to take him to the goal line and try to get it across, but Neal shattered him well. Galvin runs it out of play, and that's a goal kick to Queen's Park Rangers. That was a good intelligent ball by Mike Hazard, who spotted Galvin free. No one had pushed up on him, but Galvin, when he tried to run the young fullback, Warren Neal, who's wearing number 6 on his back, although he's playing at right back, when Galvin tried to run him, Neal was equal to the challenge. He's not without first-team experience, Warren Neal, by any means. In fact, he scored one of the goals in Queen's Park Rangers' victory at Middlesbrough in a third-round replay. So he knows what the FA Cup's all about, this young man, and I'm sure he's determined to take his chance tonight. Tottenham, though, back in possession from that goal kick. Hazard has it once more, plays it to the right to Huddle. Huddle under pressure from Waddock. Loses the ball, but wins the throw. And across comes Graham Roberts. That man from the South Coast, chunky figure, to take another long throw. Almost level with the edge of the Queen's Park Rangers penalty area. Roberts with the throw, but it's headed up in the air by Hazel. Crooks is underneath it, though, for Tottenham. Heads it back towards goal, but there was no one there to chase after it. The turn is a good account. It's gone out of play, and it's a goal kick again to Queen's Park Rangers, which Peter Hucker, another of their heroes on Saturday, will take. Hucker, tall, angular figure, fair-haired, in the traditional green goalkeeper sweater. Looking for length in his clearance, and not really getting it. It's dropping on halfway, just inside the Rangers half, headed on there by Gregory, but Tottenham able to pick it up without too much pressure on them. It's now with Chris Houghton, their left back, over on the far side. Houghton moving to the halfway line, has got Galvin running outside him, and he ups for the pass to Galvin, and that's a great ball and Fenwick has got to scurry across to try and beat Galvin. Galvin goes into the sliding tackle. Fenwick goes down too. The ball goes away behind, and it'll be another goal kick to Rangers. But certainly the liveliest of openings to this cup final replay. 5 minutes gone. Not a goal yet, but every indication that we may not have to wait too long. And if an early goal is to come, well, certainly it's Tottenham who've been doing the pressing, and Tottenham who have looked the more likely to fashion a chance. So it must be said as yet we haven't seen a clear-cut chance on this grey but pleasant Thursday evening at Wembley. The goal kick comes towards Stainrod. Stainrod on halfway, loses out to Graham Roberts, and again the yellow shirts come streaming forward. Roberts has Archibald moving outside him. He beats Hazel's challenge. Roberts inside the penalty area, pulled down from behind by Curry, and that is a penalty. And no question about that, no question at all about that. Tony Curry tackling Graham Roberts from behind. Down he went like a sack of potatoes, and that is a penalty. Clive White right on the spot. Graham Roberts seemed to have overrun the ball, but Bob Hazel misread it. Roberts went through, and so it's down to Hoddle with a penalty, and it's 1-0. Glenn Hoddle scores his 5th penalty of the season and his 3rd FA Cup goal, and Tottenham, with 6 minutes on the clock, have gone 1-0 in front.
Well, a marvellous run there by Graham Roberts, George, but I thought you described it absolutely accurately. He had overrun the ball, and really he should not have got it just outside the 18-yard box, but for some unknown reason Bob Hazel absolutely dived past him. I don't know, he must have had a mental block there, and it gave Roberts a great chance of actually cutting into the box, and it certainly was a trip from behind, and Tottenham went 1-up.
And that's got to do Tottenham's confidence the world of good, and is sure to rock Rangers. Though having said that, they did come back from the dead on Saturday, and there's an awful lot more time in this match than there was on Saturday for them to recover from the deficit of a goal. Their only attack, but Houghton has broken it down, and he's making ground up the left side for Tottenham. Chris Houghton cutting inside and forced to send it all the way back under pressure there from the eager Rangers players, and Ray Clemens has it, clutches it to his chest, says just steady it down, lads. And as they move forward, he prepares to kick. And all the noise of the moment coming from the area to the left, away behind Ray Clemens' goal, with the navy blue and white interspersed with yellow. The flags are all waving because Tottenham are 1-0 in front. And it's Hoddle, the goal scorer, with a throw just down below us, midway inside the Rangers' half. Crooks receives, Waddock comes in to tackle Hoddle. Off his shin it goes, Hoddle's that is, and Rangers have the throw. Taken by Gregory, receiving it back from Flanagan, and a good ball inside from Michael White. But Houghton beats his challenge. Michael White goes down. The ball goes up to the far side of the field, and Terry Fenwick picks it up for Rangers. Still inside his own half, he chips one forward. Michael White controls in his chest, lays it up for Stainrod. Stainrod running at the Spurs defence and doing well, and looked to be obstructed there by Perryman, and was indeed. Clive White again right on top of things, seeing the obstruction by Steve Perryman right on the arc outside the penalty area. Stainrod had danced past one challenge, was aiming for the second, but Perryman saw him coming, put his body in the way, and Steve Perryman, who was booked for a handball on Saturday here at Wembley, is guilty of another misdemeanour, which has left Simon Stainrod stretched out on the ground and in need of some attention.
Well, Rangers, like on Saturday, George, they're coming back immediately there, and that was a very dangerous attack, and Simon Stainrod was just lining himself up there for a really good shot there, or else he could have played it left to one of his teammates, who also was in a dangerous position. So it looks as though it's really going to be a good game. I mean, to get a goal early on in the game is absolutely ideal from our point of view, because it opens it up. And it's also noticeable that Tony Curry, who everyone says, well, quite a lot of people said on Saturday that he was the star man. I felt as though he played a little bit too deep on Saturday, and it's much easier when you're back there. It's a more difficult position to be picked up, and he did spray the ball about well, but he's much more dangerous if he's doing it from over the halfway line. And I know the game's only been running 7 or 8 minutes, but he has been playing a little bit further up this time, and I would think that Terry Venables may have thought exactly the same.
Rangers then will have the free kick right on the arc of the penalty area, and smack in the middle of the goal as they look. Tony Curry standing over it, rolls it for Stainrod to crack one. It comes off Crooks in the wall, and Tottenham try to get it away, but not with any great degree of success. It goes back towards Warren Neal. Neal chips one in. Clemens goes in and misses out. Michael White is there trying to shoot, and is forced to get underneath it and put it over the top, and that's a goal kick. But certainly Tottenham's defence in complete disarray as the ball came back in there. Ray Clemens right out on the edge of his penalty area, trying to collect a ball that didn't really look to be his, with two other Tottenham players underneath it, one of whom, Steve Perryman, collided with the goalkeeper and is now on the ground himself.
I think you're right there, George. I don't think Ray Clements should have come out there at all, because the ball was absolutely right in the edge of the box. In fact, Ray Clements could actually have been just outside the box almost. And his defenders can deal with that quite adequately. And he really caused a bad collision there between his own teammates. I think it was Stevie Perriman, and they could have put him out of the game there. I think he was a little bit too anxious there, George.
In fact, watching it on our television monitor in the commentary box, to see that it was Perryman indeed who headed the ball away. So Perryman was in complete control of that situation. Fortunately for Spurs, he's all right again. Tottenham's defence involved in the action once more as the ball played forward to Flanagan. They try to crowd him out, and eventually Houghton picks it up and slides it back to Clements once more, and he'll have a few words for his defenders. He bowls the ball back out to Houghton on the far angle of the penalty area, and Houghton moves up the Tottenham left and then plays it back inside to Paul Price. Price in his first season with Tottenham, his second cup final appearance tonight. Plays the long ball forward. Gillard gets underneath it. It goes to Hoddle. Hoddle tries the shot, and it just doesn't curl enough. Hucker able to watch it go past his post. But out of nothing, almost came something, as Price's long ball forward was headed down to Hoddle, who tried to curl it around Hucker, but the shot went wide of Hucker's left hand upright. 11 minutes of this cup final replay gone. Tottenham leading Queen's Park Rangers by that 1-0. The penalty scored by Glenn Hoddle after 6 minutes. Hucker with a goal kick. Again, not much length on it. It comes to Archibald. Archibald curls one inside, meant for Crooks, with the Rangers defence getting underneath it and getting into a little trouble there as Curry and Hazel guilty of a misunderstanding. And now forward goes Archibald. Right-hand angle of the penalty area. Curls it in. Hoddle tries the header, but jumped at it all wrong. It skidded off the top of his head and has gone over to the far side where it's run out of play. And that'll be a throw to Rangers, which is quickly taken. Back it goes to Terry Fenwick, just outside his own penalty area. Fenwick with a 2 on the back, but playing in the heart of the defence tonight in place of the suspended Glenn Roeder. Plays it to Gillard. Gillard lets it run under his foot. Took his eye off it at the crucial moment. It goes out of play, and the throw it is to Tottenham. Hoddle takes it. Into space goes Hazard. It beats Hazel. Hazard has it, shoots over the top.
Bob Hazel doing a lot of ball watching there, George. He wasn't really paying enough concentration there. That's when the ball goes out of play. That's when you've really got to be on your toes there. And Mike Hazard slipped in behind him on the blind side there and should have done better with his shot, actually.
So it stays 1-0, and Peter Hucker, who's seen a lot of goal kicks this evening, has another one. Down to our right. Again, lots of noise in Wembley. No shortage of support for either side. The goal kick again short. Roberts heads it forward. Hazel picks it up and pushes it wide to the right to Warren Neal. Neal under pressure from Galvin, plays it back to Fenwick. Fenwick looks to see had Hucker come. He hadn't, so he plays it to the left to Gillard. Gillard now in possession. Plays it forward. Stainrod couldn't control it, and it's no trouble at all for Paul Price. On the edge of his own penalty area, Paul Price plays it square. Chris Houghton on the far side. Galvin is there if he wants him. He chooses instead to go inside for Price. And Price, 25 yards from his own goal, again plays the long ball. And Crooks is waiting underneath it and getting the touch. But Hoddle had moved too far to his left, and it's picked up by John Gregory for Rangers, who plays it to his left to Gillard. Gillard feeds Curry and continues on the run. Receives the second pass. And eventually it goes all the way back to Gregory once more. Gregory and Curry, another misunderstanding there between the Rangers players. Curry showing nonchalance when I think a little more urgency was required. But in the end, coming out of it well, as Archibald put pressure on him, Curry played the ball back towards Peter Hucker, and the goalkeeper in possession now on his own penalty spot. That penalty spot that could prove so crucial in this game, as it was from that spot that Glenn Hoddle got the goal that has put Tottenham 1-0 in front. Hucker's clearance. More length this time, but again a Tottenham head finds it. Graham Roberts out to the left to Crooks. Crooks the backward header into space, and there's just the presence there of Terry Fenwick to run back and collect it and play it upfield. And once more a loose ball from Rangers. Price picks it up, plays it to the left to Chris Houghton. Houghton crossing halfway inside, looking for Hazard, cut out by Micklewhite. But again, Hazard, busy little player that he is, wins possession back. But there had been a foul just then as Hazard moved in to reclaim the ball. So Queen's Park Rangers have a free kick. Inside it goes to Terry Fenwick. Fenwick left-footed, plays it forward. Flanagan has it now, middle of the Tottenham half. Beats Hoddle with one challenge, but then is the victim of Paul Miller's challenge, and the ball runs free to Curry. Curry pushed wide to the right. Looks up, plays it inside square to Waddock. Waddock, middle of the Tottenham half, to his left, to Gillard. But Gillard seemed to misread the pace of that ball, had to scurry after it and then play it inside. It comes off the head there of Hazard, headed away by Houghton. A foul by John Gregory, and a free kick to Tottenham on the edge of their penalty area. Quarter of an hour of the FA Cup final replay gone. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Glenn Hoddle from the penalty spot, the scorer. And Tottenham with a free kick just outside the penalty area. Paul Price touches it back to Ray Clements, who touches it back to Paul Price. The singing starts once more in Wembley Stadium as the ball is played to Steve Perryman on the right side. Perryman beats the challenge of Gary Waddock. Runs forward, touches it inside to Archibald, and a good first-time ball from Hoddle for Crooks to chase. Hazel down there, tangling with Crooks. The ball's still in play. Crooks still there. Hazel and Archibald together. Crooks back to Archibald once more. Edge of the penalty area. Square ball across for Roberts to shoot. And just over the top. And Tottenham really ripping the Queen's Park Rangers defence asunder. Bob Hazel tangling with Garth Crooks. It was Crooks who won the ball back. Fed it to Archibald. Archibald's incisive cross, finding Roberts. And Roberts with a drive, sending it over the bar. And it stays 1-0.
Well, I feel as though Bob Hazel was badly at fault there again, George, because that was a chase between him and Garth Crooks up to a ball up towards the corner flag, and Hazel won it by probably half a yard. In those circumstances, you've either got to play the ball out or try and shield it. Well, and I don't know what he tried to do there, but all of a sudden Crooks got the other side of him and put Archibald through, and it could have ended up in a goal there. That's 2 occasions, and once on Saturday as well, when he seemed to have everything under control. He seemed to just have a little lapses in concentration and puts himself and his team bang in trouble.
Hoddle in possession now for Tottenham as they move forward, and again it's Hazel who cuts it out, but this time a good ball from him to Tony Curry. Curry, the Rangers captain tonight, plays it to his left to Gillard once more. Gillard with Waddock outside him, chooses to chip it forward where Flanagan heads it down for Micklewhite. Micklewhite forced to go wide to the right. Houghton is off there in chase. It comes off Houghton, goes out of play. That'll be a throw to Queen's Park Rangers, and gives me the chance to bring you up to date with the latest from Wrexham, where Wales and Northern Ireland are involved in a British Championship match. There's no score after 15 minutes. Wales 0, Northern Ireland 0. Here at Wembley, it's Tottenham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0, and Glenn Hoddle is in possession for Tottenham. And even as I speak, I hear that Alan Curtis has put Wales in front, so the score of Wrexham, Wales 1, Northern Ireland 0. Similar scoreline here, of course, and it's Tottenham, the team in front, who move forward. Chris Houghton moving up the left-hand touchline, touches it inside now to Archibald. Archibald back to Hoddle. Hoddle forced to run backwards by Gary Waddock's presence and forced into the uncharacteristically sloppy pass that doesn't find Garth Crooks, but instead rolls out of play, gives Queen's Park Rangers the throw, which Ian Gillard will take some 15 yards inside his own half, near side, Rangers left. Gillard waiting for movement among his players. Eventually that comes. It goes off Garth Crooks, and it's another throw which John Gregory will take. Gregory, swarthy figure, jet black hair, just inside his own half. Tall and lean, throws it back to Bob Hazel. Hazel plays it across the face of his penalty area to Terry Fenwick. Fenwick, forward ball to Waddock. Waddock now on the edge of the centre circle in his own half. Plays it forward to Curry, and Queen's Park Rangers now moving forward with some purpose. Rangers with Curry, who plays it out to the right, and back inside it comes again to Micklewhite. Micklewhite has Curry available once more, and he's in possession. Back again to Micklewhite on the far side. Micklewhite looks up, decides to play it back to Fenwick, and Fenwick plays a first-time ball that's cut out by Hoddle, and off comes Tottenham once more with Archibald. Tangling with Fenwick as well, still going, but eventually Hazel beats him. Fenwick picks up the pieces, runs back towards his own goalkeeper, and the danger is averted once more. Terry Fenwick forward now for Rangers to Flanagan, takes it on his chest just inside the Tottenham half, and plays a good intelligent ball to the right to Warren Neal. Neal cutting inside Houghton, chipping one there for Gregory to chase, but it's too long, too much pace on it, and it's cut out by Ray Clements, who tosses it to his right to Steve Perryman, and Perryman starts another attack up the Tottenham right. And certainly if there was something to be desired in Saturday's final, there's nothing to be desired in this final replay. Movement all the way as Tottenham move forward once more. Garth Crooks facing Ian Gillard, right-hand edge of the penalty area, into Archibald, back to Hoddle. Hoddle, edge of the area, tries to get it out to Galvin on the far side. Hocker sprints off his line, collects it on the edge of his area, over on the far side, and that attack comes to nothing either. But certainly all the movement there, and Tottenham really looking sharp tonight. 1-0 up, and showing all the signs that there might be plenty more goals there. 19 minutes of the match gone, and Rangers moving forward once more with Gary Micklewhite to Mike Flanagan. It should also be said, of course, that Queen's Park Rangers are by no means lying down and allowing it to happen to them. They're pressing forward at every opportunity and really making a very fast and open game of it. The ball with Steve Perryman once more for Tottenham on the near side. Chips it forward. Archibald had come to run to receive it, but Gillard cuts it out. Now it's with Gregory. Goes off Hoddle, up in the air in the centre circle. Bounces down for Micklewhite, who stood back. Lost the possession, but now they have it again with Flanagan. Flanagan trying to play it out to the left. Perryman cuts it out. Price comes in. Lobs the clearance forward. Crooks underneath it. Tackled by Gillard with an elbow in his neck. which means a shrill blast on the whistle from Clive White and a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur, just inside the Queen's Park Rangers half and right down on the near touch line, which is their right. Glenn Hoddle is there, Steve Perryman is there. And Perryman signalling precisely what's going to happen to the forward players as Hoddle takes the short free kick, chipped forward to Archibald. Archibald, with two Queen's Park Rangers men on him, loses out to one of those, who was Waddock. Waddock gives it to Gregory. Gregory plays it inside to Curry. Curry beats the challenge of Roberts, and Hazel comes in and wins it back for Queen's Park Rangers. In the centre circle now, the roar for Big Bob Hazel. The Rangers fans really love him. He plays it to the right to Warren Neal. Neal couldn't get past Houghton, and the reason he couldn't was that Houghton's hand stopped the ball. Unintentionally, I dare say, but nonetheless, it's worth a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Tony Curry will take it 15 yards inside the Tottenham half, and roughly the same distance from the far touchline, which is Queen's Park Rangers' right. As they attack the goal to our left, the tunnel end at Wembley, Curry will take it. Lofts it to the far side. Gregory rising, touchdown for Hazel. Micklewhite is there too. And eventually it comes to Hoddle, who plays it wide to Perryman, and Tottenham breathe again. Perryman signalling again to the forward players and then plays it short inside to Hoddle. Hoddle finds Hazard. Back it goes to Hoddle. He's pressured out of it by Stainrod. But Stainrod, having beaten Hoddle, loses it to Crooks, and Crooks comes scurrying back to play it all the way back to Ray Clements. And applause for that particular piece of skill from the Tottenham striker. It's played back to the right side to Steve Perryman. Perryman plays it forward for Archibald, but this time it's cut out by Gary Waddock. Busy little player with the red hair of an Irishman, and he is, after all, a Republic of Ireland international. The ball eventually knocked out of play off a combination of Hazard and Gregory. And the last man to touch was, in fact, John Gregory, so it'll be Tottenham Hotspur's throw, which Steve Perryman will take. 15, 16 yards inside the Queen's Park Rangers half, near side. Throw to Hazard. Hazard looks up, tries to get Archibald going. It was knocked away by Gillard, but now Hoddle has it. Chips it to his right to Perryman, who was offside. Free kick to Rangers. Gillard takes the free kick back to Hucker, and Hucker will roll it to Bob Hazel. We'll have a look and see just what's available. A very popular character at Loftus Road is Big Bob Hazel, and he's gone off in one of his mazy dribbles that they love to see. Plays it to the right to Micklewhite. Micklewhite forward for Flanagan. Flanagan out to the right side to Warren Neal, and a good ball from him sets Flanagan going right side of the area, across the face of the goal, but the cross just too long for Simon Stainrod, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Tottenham Hotspur. But there, every indication that Queen's Park Rangers have some powder still in their locker, and I just think that we'll have as much incident in the second portion of the first half as we've had in the first. 1-0 to Tottenham, 22 and a half minutes gone. Peter Brackley takes it up.
Certainly, yes, no lack of commitment or adventure from these two sides, who I'm sure feel they've a point to prove after Saturday and all the criticism of the match last Saturday. And it's certainly been a lively first period of this match so far. Here's Waddock in possession for Rangers down below us. Rangers attacking the goal to our left in this first half, and Waddock still in possession, just inside the Tottenham territory. He's lost it. Thunderous tackle again from Roberts, then Hoddle's given it away, and there the big burly figure of Bob Hazel. Infield then to Fenwick, playing at the centre of the back four in the absence of Glenn Roeder, who misses the match through suspension. But it's Tottenham who build again. Hazard just outside the centre circle. Small weaving figure, then to Roberts, turns it far side. Again, a good build-up here from Spurs. Here's Chris Houghton towards the edge of the area. Crooks is inside that 18-yard box. Across comes Hazel, makes contact, and then Warren Neal turns it out of play on the far side. A throw to Tottenham, about 5 or 6 yards from the corner flag, down their left. The yellow shirts at the moment camped inside the Rangers half. Here's Roberts, short then to Crooks, who's just outside the area. Lays it back towards Roberts, but Curry's there. Now breaks towards the halfway line and steers it out near side to Stainrod, already with his socks around his ankles. Tony Curry down on the ground, took a knock in the collision a moment ago, but play goes on. Gregory, then he's lost it to Roberts, centre of the field, accelerating now towards the Rangers penalty area, tries to send Crooks away. Crooks hasn't read it, taps his foot in disgust, and the ball is then turned back to Peter Hucker in the Queen's Park Rangers goal, while still down on the ground is Tony Curry, holding his right shin and looks to be in some pain, and Clive White, I think, will have to blow the whistle in a moment. Well, he won't need to, because Peter Hucker has cleared the ball into touch over on the far side. It'll be a Tottenham throw, but I think more important at the moment is the injury to Tony Curry, and also a little bit of treatment for Steve Perryman down below as the Tottenham captain. But Tony Curry clearly took a knock, and this could be very important, very significant, Frank, if Tony Curry doesn't take any further part in this match.
Well, he's one of the guys who really supply a little bit of skill and class in the Queen's Park Rangers side, Peter, because they're full of hurry and scurry, and they're really closing everyone down and playing the game at 100 miles an hour. But it needs a player like Tony Curry to just slow things down and just give a little bit of composure. And if they lose him, I think they can lose the pattern of the play here. I feel as though some of the folks in the Queen's Park Rangers side on Saturday are coming up again tonight, that quite a few of the passes that have been knocked to the front men haven't been controlled well enough, and Spurs defence are really crashing into, so any miscontrolled balls are being punished severely. And apart from the last occasion just a few minutes ago when that ball whizzed across the face of Ray Clements, that was really the only time that Queen's Park Rangers have looked dangerous.
Well, Tony Curry has now got to his feet. He seems to be all right, although he's limping rather ruefully back towards his own penalty area, as Tottenham then prepare to take this throw over on the far side. 25 minutes into the first half, and still it's Tottenham leading by a goal to nil. Glenn Hoddle from the penalty spot after 6 minutes. The long ball to the far post. Here's Steve Archibald, Scottish international, wants to impress today with the World Cup coming up so very soon. But then Hoddle's lost it. Away comes Waddock now for Queen's Park Rangers. Halfway inside his own half. Can't keep the ball in play. It's a throw to Tottenham. Down the near side. That's their right flank in this first half. Attacking the goal to our right. And grouped behind that goal, the mass of the Queen's Park Rangers supporters. And there's Waddock tidying up at the back and steers it to his goalkeeper, Peter Hucker. Very much the hero of Saturday's game for Queen's Park Rangers. And they come forward now with Micklewhite. Keeps his place in the Rangers' attack in the absence of Clive Allen, who misses the match through injury. Long one then played forward by Gillard. Headed away by Price for Tottenham. Hoddle knocks it forward, but he's nudged from behind, so it's a free kick to Tottenham just inside the centre circle.
That little fella, Gary Waddock, is in there again, Peter. Every time Glenn Hoddle has the ball, he's snapping away his heels, and he's made some tremendous tackles. And when he gets the ball, he doesn't try to elaborate too much. He just gets the ball and gives it simply to someone like Tony Curry and lets them get on with their part of their game. But he was a tremendous influence on Saturday, and he's already started this game very well too.
Yes, he's following Glenn Hoddle over every blade of grass. Again, a free kick to Tottenham. This time the foul by John Gregory. Midway inside the Rangers' half, and Hoddle is over the ball. Plays a long one to the far post, looking for Miller. Up go the heads. It's knocked across the area, half cleared away by Gillard, and out of defence by Micklewhite. Here's Curry now, blonde-haired figure. Tries to find Waddock on the near side, but Hoddle's knocked it forward for Tottenham. And then it's cleared away, this time by Terry Fenwick, just outside his own penalty area. Perriman underneath it for Tottenham. Heads it forward. Hoddle challenging for the ball with Curry. It falls for John Gregory, player who passed a late fitness test on his damaged calf to enable him to play tonight. There certainly had been a serious doubt about John Gregory. So good news for Rangers that he's able to play. And Gregory now slides it wide on the far side of Bob Hazel. Then forward again, laid off well by Flanagan to the far side of Micklewhite. Outside right position, two Tottenham players over there with him. One of them is Galvin. Then knocked forward from Neal to Flanagan again, just outside the area. Out the ball goes again to the far side of Micklewhite. Tries to take the ball round Tony Galvin. Succeeds in doing so. Turns the long ball across. Steinrod's in there. Oh, and he collides with Ray Clements. I'm sure that'll be a free kick. Simon Steinrod hurtling in there. Caught Ray Clements. Down goes the Tottenham goalkeeper. And it'll be a free kick to Tottenham. As we were saying earlier on, Frank, certainly it's been a lively start by Rangers too, and it certainly hasn't been all one way.
No, it hasn't been, but prior to that attack there, Peter, that's when Queen's Park Rangers have been falling down. The ball's been going up to their two front men, and it's sometimes been bouncing off them. But on that occasion, Flanagan controlled the ball beautifully twice, kept the play flowing, and that was a very dangerous situation for them there. This is what the front men have got to do. As we've seen last night, Peter With was flicking the ball off once or twice when he could have held the ball and given his teammates time to come up alongside him, and this is what the two front men of QPR have got to manage.
There's the long ball played upfield again towards Steinrod. Then Hoddle to Perriman. Down below us now, deep inside his own half. Plays it along the flank. Curry's there for Rangers. Hoddle straight into the body of Waddock. Then Perriman allows it to run and just turns it coolly back to Ray Clements in the Tottenham goal. Calm defensive work again by Steve Perriman, the footballer of the year. What a season he's had for Tottenham. Here comes now Chris Hughton, Republic of Ireland international, over on the far side for Tottenham. Then to Tony Galvin, who had a quiet match on Saturday and certainly hasn't been involved too much tonight either so far. Curry now for Rangers, just outside the centre circle and inside his own territory. Turns away from the challenge of Roberts and chips a delicate ball out to the far side. Just kept in play by Neal. Infield then to Flanagan rather, tries to find Micklewhite. And Tottenham bring the ball out of defence. Coming forward now, Galvin drifts past two tackles. He's caught by Warren Neal, and that'll be a free kick to Tottenham just inside their own half on the far side.
Tony Galvin's obviously feeling a little bit rusty, Peter, because I think that's the third time he's touched the ball in the last probably half an hour. and he is a match winner for Spurs. And it's obviously because he's missed the last month. But I thought after playing on Saturday, he'd been a lot sharper tonight.
Well, here's Archibald now for Tottenham, outside right position. Infield then to Mike Hazard. What a worker Hazard is. Still in possession, down below us. Good tackle though by Gillard. In goes Perriman, fiercely into the tackle, and the ball coming off Mike Flanagan. So it's a Tottenham throw, halfway inside the Rangers half. Still down below us, the Tottenham right. And Perriman will take the throw for them. Has support from Hazard, finds him just outside the penalty area. Still down below us, now tight to the touchline. Again, a strong tackle from Ian Gillard. Times the tackle perfectly. But again, it's a Tottenham throw, just a few feet now from the corner flag. Still down the Tottenham right. And certainly Tottenham have looked the most menacing of the two sides so far. And they're leading by 1-0 with just under 15 minutes now to half-time. Perriman then to Hazard, towards the edge of the area. Almost falls for Archibald. Well defended again then by Terry Fenwick. And turns it back to Hucker. Long clearance from right to left, upfield. Picked on well by Stainrod. Will Flanagan reach it, or will Miller get there first? In fact, it's Ray Clements. Sprints off his line, gathers the ball just inside the 18-yard box. And then now to Perriman, down below us. Chips the ball forward. Up goes Crooks. But Gillard's header reaches it first. A Tottenham throw. Just a few yards inside their own half. Still the play down below us on the Tottenham right. Taken by Perriman to Garth Crooks. He's just inside the Rangers half. Dodges away from the tackle of Curry. And now coming forward. Still in possession. Checks comes inside. He's tackled by Curry. And then in fact Curry is held back by the lunging tackle of Garth Crooks. So it's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. About 5 yards inside their own half. Down their left. Gillard over the ball. Knocks it forward. It's about 5 yards forward at Micklewhite. He's just inside now the Tottenham half. Short then to Stainrod. Lovely flick from Stainrod. Almost finds Gregory. Audacious piece of footwork there from Stainrod. Cleared out of defence but only as far as Warnock. Here now is Curry. Still Rangers coming forward menacingly. Shot then from Stainrod. Down goes Ray Clements. Body right behind the ball. Exemplary goalkeeping. And gathers it down by the near post. And a good effort then. And almost a chance for Queen's Park Rangers, who certainly are giving a good account of themselves tonight. But at the moment they're a goal down. Tottenham scoring through Glenn Hoddle, their ace penalty taker, after 6 minutes when Graham Roberts was brought down by Tony Curry. It's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers over on the far side, about 10 yards outside the penalty area. And there again is Terry Fenwick. There's a very important role, of course, in the absence of Ben Roeder, although it's Tony Curry who skippers the Rangers side tonight. And Gillard's long ball forward, headed out of defence by Tottenham. Little flick on from Hoddle. It's brought down by Gary Warnock, who, needless to say, was right behind him all the way. Free kick, though, to Tottenham. Just showing that the crowd tonight, 90,000, so just slightly below the capacity for night matches. Receipts of £605,000. Tottenham are coming forward again now. Roberts to Houghton, far side, coming towards the edge of the area. Then to Hazard, who's just inside the 18-yard box. Tries to send Archibald free. In goes Archibald. Hucker again off his line. Spots the danger, thwarts the danger, and gathers the ball. So the chance has gone, and Bob Hazel just touching the ball back to Peter Hucker, who excelled himself on Saturday with a string of superlative saves. One in particular I can remember in the first half from Steve Archibald, which really must have given the man so much confidence. Peter Hucker, who's played less first-team matches than Ray Clements at the other end, has played here at Wembley. Gillard inside the tackle of Archibald, coming towards the halfway line, down the near side, Rangers left. Not a good ball though, headed away by Hoddle. And then Graham Roberts rather casually heading it back towards Steve Perriman, who's got a lot of time deep inside his own half. Steve Perriman in his 13th season at Tottenham, of course, picked up the FA Cup last year and would love to do so again to emulate the achievement of Danny Blanchflower for Tottenham back in the early 60s. 2 years in succession. Curry to Micklewhite, just outside the centre circle. Still running towards the edge of the area. Still he's coming forward. Chips the ball across. Clements is there. Comfortably holds the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box. But certainly Rangers still coming forward whenever the opportunity arises. And the match by no means one-way traffic. But with now 10 minutes to half-time, it's still Tottenham 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0 here in this 101st FA Cup final replay. The long ball upfield from Clements is flicked on by Galvin. But there's Fenwick underneath it for Queen's Park Rangers. Headed on by Micklewhite. The play just rather scrappy at the moment. And then Roberts heads it back towards his own goal. And Miller has plenty of time to bring the ball out of defence. He plays it to the short, stocky figure of Perriman. 10 yards inside his own half. Then down the flank. Tony Curry almost reaches it. Crooks does, but he fails to control the ball. So it's a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. And again, the man who always wants the ball, Tony Curry, will take the throw for them. 10 yards inside his own half. Down the Rangers left. Just looking for support for a moment. Thinks about the throw to Gregory, elects instead to throw towards Simon Stainrod, man with a lot of ability. Curry, cheeky flick again. Gregory, then to Gillard. Can he keep it in? He does, but only finds Perriman for Tottenham. Now to Hazard. What can they make of this? He spreads the play to the far side. Good intelligent pass from Hazard. Houghton, then a long one forward for Galvin to chase. Gone too far. And Peter Hucker just has plenty of time to sprint out of his area and then touch the ball forward to Warren Neal. This young 19-year-old coming into the Rangers side tonight. Certainly hasn't done too badly so far. Hazard, though, for Tottenham. Deep inside his own half, finds then Perriman, who's just outside his own penalty area. And Perriman thinks about the short ball inside a Hazard, but instead turns it back to Ray Clements in the Tottenham goal, making tonight his 37th Wembley appearance, Ray Clements. His 9th Wembley final, if you count the match he played on Saturday, and this one is the replay. 9 Wembley finals. Houghton, though, for Tottenham now on the far side. Again, the timed interception from Warnock, so it'll be a throw to Tottenham. Certainly, Frank, there's a lot of criticism of the match on Saturday, but I don't think there's any doubt that this has been a very lively first half.
I'm always scared to say it's a good match, Peter, because we thought it was quite a good match on Saturday, but no one else did. Yes, I think it's been a good match. Again, there's a little bit lack of expertise by the two frontmen. When we're talking about the Queen's Park Rangers frontmen and the Tottenham men, they're flattering to deceive a little bit, Peter. They're looking sharp and they're looking as though they're going to do a lot. Maybe it's just good defensive play in some occasions, but they should be doing they're losing a lot of balls that they should be bringing under control and laying off to their teammates. And it's breaking down far too often. There's a lot of good stuff in midfield, but I would like to see them starting to bring in Tony Galvin a lot more, because he's playing against a young boy. He's done well up till now, but it's probably his third game playing for Queen's Park Rangers, and he's never really been tested. I mean, Tony Galvin hasn't found out if he can beat him on the inside or the outside, or if he lacks pace. And I feel as though the link-up between Chris Houghton and Tony Galvin should be much better for two guys that's played together for a long time. They should have a better understanding, and they should be constantly shouting for the ball and jockeying for position and starting to get down that left side, because when they're really working well, that's a dangerous ploy for Spurs.
And they're coming forward now. Here's Hoddle, 10 yards outside the area. Spreads the play well again to Hazard. Outside right position, Archibald, Crooks and Galvin, all either in or by the edge of the 18-yard box, but the cross only finds the head of Fenwick. He heads it out. Flanagan chests the ball down. 5 yards inside his own half. Tries to find Stainrod. Miller's there. Then Hoddle. Good deft control from Glenn Hoddle. Steers it back to Paul Price. And I think that the tactical plan tonight is that Gary Micklewhite will try and intercept those passes from Chris Houghton, looking to find Tony Galvin. And here now comes Warren Neal for Rangers. Turns the ball high across the area, but Ray Clements is there. Catches the ball just inside that 18-yard box. Then clenches his fist and looks for a bit more determination from one or two of his colleagues. Here now is Graham Roberts, who made the goal with his superb run into the area. That's a lovely ball too. Finds Galvin just outside the 18-yard box. Over on the far side, down the Tottenham left. And then to Crooks, just outside the area. Then to Houghton, who's come forward. Good tackle by Bob Hazel. And the ball goes out of play on the far side, spinning into touch. Just a couple of feet from the corner flag, down the Tottenham left. And a good run forward then by Chris Houghton, who's a very, very fit professional indeed, and loves to join the attack whenever the opportunity occurs. A throw then to Tottenham. Ball is inside the 18-yard box, the Rangers area, that is, headed out by Neal. Not a good clearance, so Hoddle shot. The linesman's flag raised quickly on the far side to show that Steve Archibald, I think it was, down on this near side close to us, was in fact offside. Free kick taken then by Hucker. And here's Terry Fenwick, just outside his own penalty area. Man who feared he might miss the first match at Wembley on Saturday because of suspension, but he escaped that. He played then, and he's playing well tonight at the heart of the defence. And now it's Rangers' turn to attack too. Stainrod to Gillard, midway inside the Tottenham half. Rangers left. Infield then to Simon Stainrod. Tries to take the ball round Hazard, but he sticks to him like a limpet. Still though, Stainrod in possession. And just touches the ball back to Gillard. He has to run back a couple of yards to retrieve the ball, but he keeps possession until it comes off the foot of Mike Hazard. So it's a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. Halfway inside Tottenham's half. We have 5 minutes to half-time, and still the penalty from Glenn Hoddle has Tottenham in front. 1-0. Gillard now, down below us. Tries to take the ball round 2 Tottenham players. Doesn't succeed, but it's still loose for a moment. Until then the belligerent figure of Miller pops the ball upfield, and the chase is on now. Hucker comes out of his area. Well, what will he do here? He looks for the easy ball inside of Bob Hazel, but Hazel hasn't kept the ball in play, so it's a throw to Tottenham, deep inside the Rangers' half. Now, could something be on here? Roberts, Crooks, heads the ball back to him, outside right position, down by the touchline, steers the ball across. Crooks dives at the ball, makes contact, it hits a Rangers defender, and it's comfortably taken by Peter Hucker in the Rangers goal.
I think Peter Hucker made a mistake there, Peter, because he tried to be a little bit casual, coming out of his box and playing a delicate ball to Bob Hazel, whose heels were on the touchline, and it finished up by a throw-in for Tottenham, and it was in a very dangerous position. That was a little bit inexperienced there.
Well, Micklewhite fighting for the ball 10 yards outside the Tottenham area. Under a lone battle for Gary Micklewhite there, trying to turn the ball back to one of his colleagues. In the end, he was robbed, and Tottenham now can break forward again. Here's Hazard, comes across the halfway line. Lovely control from Hazard. Almost took it too far. What a snapping tackle. Roberts knocks it forward. That's gone too far. And straight through to Peter Hucker. Again in that goal away to our right. And he rolls it out to Tony Curry. Again operating very deep, just outside his own penalty area. He was saying that he'd like to be more influential in the match, although he played on Saturday. He hasn't really operated that far forward as yet. Warnock picks up the play for Rangers, just outside that area, and turns it back again to Peter Hucker. He really is a little hustler, it's Gary Warnock. A marvellous game in the semi-final against West Bromwich Albion, and how well he played on Saturday too in the first final. Archibald lays it off for Tottenham to Galvin on the far side. Now, can Tony Galvin sprint at the defence? No, he plays it short to Chris Hughton, who's 10 yards outside the area. Then to Hoddle, looks for a bit of space, tries to work a little bit of room. He's clattered from behind by Tony Curry, who suggests that Glenn Hoddle had dived there. But I don't think he did, and only the referee, Clive White, is a very experienced referee. He's been around for a good 20 years now, won't be fooled by that. So it'll be a free kick to Tottenham. Just a few yards outside the penalty area. And will we see then one of Glenn Hoddle's specialities? The man who scored from so many positions, similar to this. He's over the ball, so is Hazard. In front of him, a five-man Rangers wall. Micklewhite just on the edge of it too. Hoddle tries the shot, blocked by Gary Warnock, who I would have thought wasn't really 10 yards away. Anyway, play goes on with Price. Still the play is inside the Rangers half. Down below us now. Perriman turns the ball high across the area. Curry jumps and misses the ball. It's cleared out of defence, but not completely. And Hoddle fighting for it with young Warren Neal, who thunders it to Chris Hughton. Again, play goes on. Galvin going forward. He's brought down by John Gregory. He's committed 2 or 3 fouls of that nature tonight. It'll be another Tottenham throw. But just going back that incident a moment ago, Frank, I didn't think that the free kick was 10 yards away.
He actually finished up about 4 yards when he actually kicked the ball.
Just paused there because Hoddle chips the ball into the area. It was caught us by surprise. They took the free kick so quickly, but Peter Hucker equal to it and smothered the ball just outside the 6-yard box.
No, Gary Warnock finished up probably 3 or 4 yards away. It gave me memories of Peter Storey. Peter Storey almost took the free kick instead of the opposite way about. He used to get so close to the kicker, it was absolutely ridiculous, and referees let him get away with it. And Gary Warnock must have been watching him when he was a kid.
Well, most people watched Frank McClintock when they were kids. Anyway, play just outside the Tottenham area. The referee's whistle has gone, and he'll have to sort out a bit of a scramble here because there's 4 or 5 players involved in quite a tussle, and I think he's going to book Paul Miller for the challenge just outside the area. I think a whole cluster of players involved, and Clive White's decision is to put the name of Paul Miller into the notebook as Tottenham now pull everybody back and Rangers push everybody bar Peter Hucker into the Tottenham area and just outside the penalty area, where the free kick will be taken some 5 yards outside that box. We've got about 2 minutes left of this first half. Without injury time, there'll be about a minute or so of that, I would think. As Rangers then prepare to take this kick, they surprised us with their tactics on Saturday. One or two unusual ploys. What will they do here? Well, Curry's over the ball, needless to say. There's a 4-man wall in front of him. Flanagan is there too, and Gregory. Curry just standing on the ball. Gregory runs over it, leaves it for Flanagan. Into the wall, chip forward again. The ball's not away yet. Stainrod's in there challenging. It falls to Micklewhite. And no, the referee's whistle has already gone. The ball hit the back of the net, with the linesman's flag raised down below us. And Micklewhite just offside. I would think it was Micklewhite at least that the flag was raised for. Just watching it on the monitor now as the ball is chipped forward. And then knocked down just by the penalty spot. There's an almighty scramble. Eventually it's turned in. Well, it wasn't Micklewhite who was offside. So I would think it must have been Simon Stainrod. And Gary Micklewhite extremely unlucky there not to equalise the Queen's Park Rangers. But the warning is there for Tottenham, who have possession on their halfway line. Roberts has lost it. Gregory, well, that must have given Queen's Park Rangers a lot of heart. Here's Warnock now, halfway inside the Tottenham half, into Micklewhite. Loses control, fights back for the ball. It's loose for a moment, then Hoddle chips it delicately forward. Here's Archibald, just inside the Rangers half. roared on now by the Tottenham supporters. Archibald, outside right position. He's got Glenn Hoddle behind him. Drifts away from the tackle of Curry. Knocks it back then to Hoddle, who's faced inevitably by Gary Waddock. There's a lovely ball from Hoddle out to the far side of Houghton, edge of the area. Can he get a shot in? Tries to, it's blocked. Then falls. Oh, good shot. Comes in from Tony Galvin. And well saved by Peter Hucker. Certainly some pressure there from Tottenham. And the shot from Tony Galvin well outside the area. No real problem for Peter Hucker with the Rangers goal. And Rangers now can attack again. Flanagan steers it to the near side. Ian Gillard. Some 15 yards inside the Tottenham half. Then to Flanagan. Just on the edge of the area. Tries to turn the ball across. Good tackle by Miller. Comes off the Tottenham defender. And it'll be another throw to Queen's Park Rangers. It's about 5 yards from the corner flag. A lot of noise now around Wembley. Certainly the game coming to life. And Rangers perhaps having their best spell at the moment. Simon Stainrod to take the throw for them. Big Bob Hazel has gone up into the area. Gregory's there too, and Micklewhite. The throw's a poor one, headed out by Roberts. And Stainrod just allows the ball to run out of play for another throw. Still it's deep inside the Tottenham half. And Stainrod again, socks around his ankles, takes the throw. Hazel jumps for the ball with Roberts, and it's come off the Tottenham defender. So it's a corner to Rangers. To move into injury time now in this first half. And certainly, as I was saying earlier on, there could be a minute or so of that because Tony Curry was injured about midway through the half. The corner then to be taken by Tony Curry. You can hear now the Rangers' voices as he floats the ball across. Up goes Clements. Just manages to hold on to the ball almost at the second attempt, really, as he was challenged by John Gregory. But all the experience and class of Ray Clements showing there, and the danger has passed. We're just hearing that the half-time score in the International in Wrexham tonight, it's Wales 1, Northern Ireland 0. The scorer, remember, Alan Curtis for Wales. So there goes...